welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole, and if you haven't been here yet, then welcome. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about insecurities, mainly my own insecurities that I've grown up with and things that I've struggled with personally, and hopefully I'll be able to help someone out there who may be struggling with something similar. If you feel insecure or if you have low self-esteem, I just want to give you some tips on how I got past it, because I used to have really low self-esteem and I didn't know my worth, and I just had a horrible self-image of myself, like a horrible body image. I know how hard it is to deal with feeling super down on yourself, and I'm just going to give you a little backstory on my own journey on loving myself and how I managed to change the negative self-talk that was in my head constantly, and every time I looked in the mirror I felt like I looked different than I actually appeared to other people. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because I do post videos on a weekly basis, usually on a Monday, unless my weekend is really busy, but other than that I do try to aim for posting every Monday. So hope you subscribe and hope you like the video, and I'm just gonna get right into the topic. Growing up, I felt really insecure about my body from a young age. I would say I was 7 years old when I first asked my grandma if I should go on a diet, and personally, I don't know where I got that from or when it was programmed into my subconscious mind to feel that way, but I grew up around an aunt who was constantly dieting, and then I watched a lot of TV, so I probably saw, I don't know, a lot of celebrities, and growing up I also read a lot of magazines as well, with comparing celebrities and who looks better and who wore what outfit better. So yeah, that was the main thing that I was surrounded with, was people who wanted to be on diets and wanted to lose weight, and then also watching all these celebrities look super skinny and everything like that. So I grew up feeling really insecure about my weight. I wanted to be really thin, and at one point I did struggle with an eating disorder, and I do believe I struggled with slight body dysmorphia. It was mainly targeted around my stomach area, where I thought it was larger than it actually was, and it was a huge point of anxiety for me dealing with my stomach. Like, I know I'm not a big person, but I did feel huge growing up, which is really, I don't know, kind of messed up that I thought I was huge. I basically grew up in an Asian household, and I feel like in Asian households, people are very blunt and they will straight up call you fat, or they will straight up say like you've gained weight. And that had a huge effect on me, because obviously coming from your family members, you believe that shit. I really wanted to be this stick thing, this stick figure, and I remember I would go for runs out in the hot sun in the morning, and I wouldn't eat breakfast. I basically wouldn't eat anything. I would literally have like an apple, and I would have like some turkey slices during the day. I would count my calories, and I also had a friend who was enabling my behavior because she also had her own self-image issues. I just had a really bad distorted image of myself. In junior high, I remember being bullied, and even as early as elementary, I remember being bullied for the way I looked, because I was the only Asian girl, and obviously if you look different, people are gonna pick at you more, and I did get picked on, and that did have a huge effect on my self-esteem going into junior high. It was just a very confusing time for me, aside from feeling different as well, and also having these really terrible, self-images of myself. A huge chunk of my life, I questioned whether I was pretty, I questioned whether I was thin enough, I just was constantly nitpicking myself. But one thing that did change that was getting active. I would go for runs once I did start to, get out of the not eating thing, because I'm gonna tell you a little story. I remember watching these YouTube videos that were like anti-anorexia, that were just trying to wake you up to the fact that being too thin is not realistic and is obviously not healthy for you. And I think that's when I started to realize in my head that it was an issue in my head more so than on my actual physical body. So that's when I started to change the picture in my head, and then I tried to look for a better alternative to make myself feel good about myself. And for me, that was the gym. I was actually dating someone at the time who was super into the gym, so I guess that's what kind of inspired me in a way to start hitting the gym. And then once I started to hit the gym a lot more regularly, I found that my mood improved and my self-esteem improved and my overall physical body improved because I was actually getting active and not starving myself and just going for runs outside and turning into a sack of bones. I feel like when I finally started to gain traction on my own confidence and my self-esteem started to pick up was when I started to work with a local photographer in Winnipeg named Holford. She is a body positivity activist and she is an amazing photographer. I've worked with her for years, but I definitely got a lot of my modeling experience and experience in front of the camera in general through her. And yeah, she really helped curve my mental image of myself. And I know she's helped so many other people as well in Winnipeg to see themselves from a different light. And it's amazing. And I definitely have her to thank to have kickstarted my journey of self-love. You should definitely check her Instagram out. I'll post a link in the description below. But yeah, I'll also show you guys some of the first photos that she took of me that in my head, I was like, whoa, is that actually me? So yeah, picture is gonna be right here. But yeah, I basically wanna give you guys some tips on how I learned to move past it and how I started to gain my self-confidence and started to build myself up and just stopped all the negative self-talk in my head. One thing that I started to do was I started to write down positive things, and I would write them down like 5 times. And also looking in the mirror, you don't necessarily have to talk to yourself in the mirror. You could just think things and look at yourself. That's what I would do because sometimes I would feel super weird talking to myself in the mirror. But you can definitely do that too if you feel comfortable. But you can also think nice thoughts and look at yourself in the mirror, and that will definitely help you. Another thing is putting post-it notes by your mirror that say nice things as well. So yeah, just putting things around your house that remind you of how awesome you are will really help your negative self-talk diminish quite a bit. Another thing I would suggest is just looking at the people you surround yourself with. Are they making you feel good about yourself? Or do you just feel, I don't know, kind of crappy about yourself after? Or do you find yourself questioning yourself after hanging out with them? So if that's the case, then I definitely recommend double checking who you keep in your circle, because that definitely has a huge effect on your mental well-being and your self-esteem and just who you are as a person, because it definitely has a huge effect on how you feel up here and who you are out here as well, you know? Okay. And another thing that I had to get over as well to help myself feel better about myself is accepting the fact that no one is perfect and that perfection doesn't exist. I was a huge perfectionist growing up, borderline OCD. I had issues. If something wasn't perfect, I would be there for hours, like fixing my eyeliner. I would do my makeup for like 2 hours just to make it perfect. You just have to realize that nothing's perfect. You're only human, and you're just wasting time if you're always focusing on being perfect. I feel like perfect doesn't exist. Trying to attain something that's impossible is just exhausting, and then the line gets moved and then you end up back at square one, and then you end up feeling shittier. So like, why not change something that you can control, which is how you think about yourself and how you think about, you know, where the line is? Because I feel like if you're trying to attain perfection, then you're not gonna really get there because it doesn't exist. Okay, another huge one that I cannot stress enough is stop comparing yourself to others. Now, I know with social media, it's extremely difficult to stop comparing yourself to others because we live in a society that basically says you should be comparing yourself to others, and I feel like naturally as human beings we do tend to compare ourselves and things to other things, right? So that's normal. You're not abnormal for comparing things. Everyone has their own unique qualities, and I feel like comparing yourself to others is just a surefire way to make you feel like you're less at the end of the day. So yeah, one thing that I did was I unfollowed people that weren't necessarily feeding my soul anymore and weren't making me feel positive. Or you don't even have to unfollow them, like if you feel like that's a little harsh, but I definitely feel like you should maybe take a break off social media for a day or two, or just, I don't know, you can mute people now. So yeah, just try to change what you're looking at on a daily basis, and I promise you, you will feel better after a while. You definitely will. Just try to feed yourself with positive imagery and positive thoughts, and everything else will follow suit. And then one last thing that I would suggest is picking up a hobby that you are passionate about, or something that you just really enjoy, because usually if you enjoy something, then you are going to be good at it. Or even if you're not good at it but you enjoy it, then it's going to make you happy, and I think that will just have a great effect on your self-esteem. And it also just gives you time to relax and get out of your work mode and just do something that you truly enjoy. So that's basically my tips for how to beat your own insecurities and move past it and gain some traction on your own self-confidence, and hopefully to change that negative self-talk in your head if you have it, and make you feel less insecure over time, and hopefully gain some confidence. But anyways guys, I really hope you liked the video today. If you liked it, please give me a thumbs up. Also, if you feel like I missed anything, or if there's any topics that you want me to cover in the next video, please put a comment below, or you can also feel free to hit me up on Instagram, which my Instagram is @NicoleV with 2 E's at the end. And also don't forget to hit like on the video if you liked it, and also subscribe to the channel, as I do post videos on a weekly basis. So yeah, stay tuned for more, and I thank you so much for tuning in today, and I hope you guys have a good night or day or whatever time it is. So yeah, bye for now.